All right, so you had a chance to look at some of the questions?
Yeah, I went through them last night and I answered them, and they said and they gave me
The
I guess a
strategist.
synopsis, yeah, of what I was, you know. So some of the questions are kind of vague, and so I
Yeah.
just, I still answered them, but it required more detail,
What
I feel. But
what you think about the result it gave it? Like the little description it gave it on the skill. Is it?
at the end,
Yeah.
hmm
Is it
it was
alignment?
pretty accurate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Aware Parent Podcast. Today, I got my brother Zyron Pope. Um, Zyron, for the audience who don't know, would you mind telling us a little bit about your background, like siblings, your upbringing? Are you the youngest, oldest, middle? Tell us a little bit about your
Okay.
background.
Yes, sir. No problem. Good afternoon. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Zyron Pope. I have two parents, my mother, my father. I was raised by both. I had a brother. He was like 3 years older than me, but he passed away before I was born.
Oh,
Which he passed away from a illness, some unknown illness back during that time that the doctors didn't know what it was. But so that made me the only child. I came along later. Um, and I have a wife with 3 kids, two boys and a girl. Two boys just graduated high school last year. They both go to Morgan State now. My daughter is a senior this year, so me and my wife is almost empty nesters.
yeah,
So I'm a business owner, been self-employed for 20 years, and and me and my wife is raising our kids. That's it,
yeah,
living life.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you about to be empty nesters.
Lord willing.
I
Yeah.
heard that. I see he went to the what's the brother who just passed away? Malcolm from the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah, yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
My
saw that.
wife and I went to he did spoken word at the Wilmington Art Museum or the Wilmington Library, and he and uh, uh, what's the guy named the rapper
Oh, Wale.
Talib.
Oh yeah, Tyler.
Talib. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they both doing spoken word tonight, along with another lady. She was an author, a well-known author, but I forget her name. But it was very interesting. I mean, you can feel the power in that room, man, and the people, the personality of the people that were in the audience was so strong and so positive. And it was like a bunch of aware people. It felt real good to be there, to witness that and to be a
yeah,
part of it. But yeah, he was a real good guy.
yeah.
My grandmama used to tell me as a kid growing up that I reminded her of him,
Oh
you
wow.
know. Yeah,
Okay.
but of course, she only saw the good side of me. She didn't know the other side of it.
Yeah,
You know what we put on in front of our parents.
yeah. You already know. So speaking of your parents, how old were your parents when you were born, and how do you think their age or their stage in life impacted how they raised you?
Okay, well, my father was always my measuring stick on what a man was. So he was eight years older than my mother.
Okay.
So he was more mature, had more experience in life. Uh, uh, I think I don't know how old they were when he had me, but they wasn't too young and not too old. I would say my mom was about maybe 21 and my dad was like 28.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's
So
so yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'm listening.
No, but it's basically, old school values, old school ways. My dad was he had morals, good morals, but he was a street guy at the same time. My mom was always a caregiver, a loving mother and wife, and she took care of the home.
Yeah.
And so I got both. I got both. I lived in both worlds. When I visited my dad's side of the family, it was more card playing, alcohol, things that happen out in the street, but not too bad, but enough. And
Right.
then on my mom's side, it was just the opposite. Church activities, but there's similarities, the two worlds, my mother world and my dad world, as I've gotten older and been able to look at things, that they came together because they both had morals and values. They wanted something out of life. So that was their connecting tissue.
Okay.
you know, came to relationship.
So your mom was 21, so she wasn't like too young, but she wasn't also like they say the brain don't finish developing until 25. So she wasn't
Through that.
fully developed yet. Do you think that played a part? So let me go back. How old are you now?
I am 55,
So you was born in like the 70s,
1970 on the head. Yeah.
1970. Okay, my mom was born in 1970. So that
Oh,
would
okay.
be your mom was born in the 50s.
Yeah, my mom is 79 right now.
Wow. So is that
Mhm.
what they consider baby boomers?
I'm not sure. I'm from Generation X. That's
Yeah.
my uh, that's my generation.
Yeah, so
So
the next
that could
generation.
be the baby boomers. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
So let's how about emotional? So I got my questions here. That's what I'm looking at. See me looking down. What kind of emotional environment did you grow up in? Was it a lot of affection and like I love you, or was it more like tough love?
Both,
It was
both.
both, good balance of
But
both.
yeah, very good balance of both, and it requires both in life. Um, I got it both from my mother and my father, and a lot of communication. That was a very important thing. My dad mostly did a lot of the communicating, meaning when things would go on in life, he would explain why this happened, or this is the way you should handle a certain situation, or he may observe me going through something and may say, "Hey, son, this is how you handle that situation. I can relate to what you're talking about." And or what you're going through, I should say. And so that really, like I tell my kids, the information that I give you, I'm giving you the answers to the test of life, because life gives you a bunch of tests. And if you got the answers to the test, just like in school, when you go to school to take that test the next day, if you've been studying well, when you get that paper, you're not intimidated. You already know, you basically know what the question is asking before you even reading the whole question. And
Yeah.
so when you got the when you got the answers to the test, it makes life much more easy and more pleasant,
Yeah, when you prepared.
when you're prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, and that's one thing about this podcast is I'm trying to encourage parents or future parents or aspiring parents to be proactive and be prepared, like you say about the test, and not try to cram the night before. Whereas though people a lot of times they don't think about parenting until they realize they're pregnant. Now they start looking at maybe they start looking at books. This quiz that I do, one of the questions a lot of people answer, they say they feel like they're winging it, and they don't read books about parenting. They don't listen to podcasts about parenting. They just going off of intuition or going off of what they know. So the purpose of this podcast is to collect stories, to collect the answers to the test of life, to collect
Hmm.
those experiences so that people can learn from the experience of other parents. Parents like you said, you about to be empty nester. Somebody who just now having a child, you know what's coming up. A first time parent, they don't know what's coming up. They have no experience as a parent. This is their first
Right.
experience as a parent. So I'm collecting these stories so they can learn from the experience of other people.
Right. That's perfect. Yeah, because it's needful. That's what you call helping the community. So you're doing a great job. I hope you're successful at your endeavors
Thank you.
on this endeavor. Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the you say when you became a father, what was something that you promised that you wouldn't repeat that your parents did? So, okay, so your parenting, what's something on the positive side and something on the negative side? Something that you want to make sure that you continue, but something that you might want to change.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I mean, because I'm constantly learning, and so you never learn enough. So recently here, I've learned, because a lot of times I'm always talking to my kids, but I wasn't listening. I should have listened. I should have been listening a little bit more. And as I listen to other people and the things that they're going to, I think that's a problem, because the generation, like when I was a kid growing up, my kids, I mean, I was, you know, when a parent talked or whatever, your words should be very few, and that still applies today. But the kids got a little bit more that they're dealing with nowadays compared to my generation,
Yeah,
especially with the internet. They're getting so much more information than I was getting when I was, and my generation was getting. And so, so yeah, I just learned recently that I need to listen a little bit more, because in my mind and my eyes, they still little kids, but they really not in real life. They've developed and seen more things, but I gotta catch up in my mind. and treat them as a little old, like,
Yeah.
older adults. Yeah.
Right.
So, for a couple of reasons, because at their age, I was doing a whole lot more than what they're doing. And so it's a mixed bag of things. So it's a balancing act. You gotta balance that thing out.
Balance. Yeah, just like how you were saying earlier, because I was saying like, was it tough love or was it a whole lot of I love you like emotion? But you gotta have a balance of both. You want to have a mix of both. You don't want to be too
Hmm.
lean to either side.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta know that you mean business. I mean, and it starts early. So you got to put discipline in your kids at an early age in a healthy way. And
Yeah.
it's not always arguing. You got to. I'll tell you one thing. I've always done it, and I know it's a plus. Is when I do something wrong, and my kids see it, I acknowledge it, and I even apologize to them. Say, hey, son, or hey, daughter, I'm sorry about what I did. I was wrong in X, Y, Z. And so, and in doing that, they respect me more because hey, they like when Dad say he's wrong about something, at least he'll come and admit it.
Yeah.
And so that makes me human to them. Like Dad is not always right, but Dad is always trying to get it right. I mean, so
And leading by example.
and
So
leading
now
by
when they're
example.
wrong, they
So
can do the same thing.
hopefully so, and they do that. Believe it or not, they
Yeah.
definitely do that. And
Yeah.
because sometimes you don't really think that they really getting it until something happens. You be like, okay. Or you hear them talking to their friends and you know where they got that wisdom and that knowledge from. You told them and they sharing it with their friends. Like, okay, they do get it.
Yeah.
So, it's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let me turn this down. Okay, let's get to the next one. So
Did I
lessons.
answer your question? I forgot. Did I answer your question? I know
Um,
I
yeah, so I think that was a positive side. How about the negative side? What's something that your parents did raising you that you don't want to do when you raise your kids?
well, I think that was a part of it, not listening enough.
Yeah,
Um, you know, and the thing about it, we can never listen enough, I don't think, generally speaking.
as parents.
Because Yeah, because I told my kids, look, you only see me as father, as a provider. So I said, but I got my own life that I'm trying to straighten out as well. It's more than just me raising you guys. I got my personal issues coming up as well. So, something may come up in your life where in which I can't really address it right now because I got so much heavy stuff over here in my mind that I'm not giving you the right the time. But
Yeah.
that's just what it was at that time. But I try my best. I'll try my
Yeah,
best.
that's all we can do is try our best.
Yeah.
Let's get into section two. Was there a moment when you had to forgive your parents, not for their sake, but for your own sake? Because you know how they say like, uh, when you forgive somebody, you carrying that weight on. So when you don't forgive them, you carrying that weight. But when you do forgive them, you letting it go. Did you ever have to go through something like that between your parents?
Oh, sure. My parents and people I know, friends, family. I mean, that's just a principle that goes with everything.
Yeah,
But I think it may be more of a stumbling block when it comes to parents because you look up to them so much, and they're your number one connection to uh, to what you should and shouldn't be doing. Maybe it's kind of hard to forgive them, but I have no problem forgiving mine, because we had that type of relationship. We had an
yeah,
open relationship. And that's one thing I do appreciate about growing up and my parents raising me because we talked about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and it was always to find what's the right thing to do, what's the truth in the matter, no matter what it is. My dad more so was like that. My mom was too, but he taught her to be more like that, be more accepting because he was so blunt and so direct about stuff, which I appreciate. And one of my sons, he's like that too, and he and I talk a lot about that. And I'm trying to curve him to make him know that even though you know what the truth is, sometimes everybody can't handle it at that time. So it's a balance in that. You got to be wise in everything.
balance. That's the third time that came up in this conversation of balance. Having a balance. Somebody. So what do you think about this? This wasn't a question that we had already, but some parents will, if the child is wrong, they will defend them in public, but in private they'll tell them, "Hey, you was wrong." They're
Mm.
not going to like reprimand them in public in front of everybody. I guess to keep the we a family unit, so you don't want outsiders to look at y'all and be like it's broken up. So even if the child was wrong in public, I'm still going to come to your defense in public. But after we get back home, oh, I'm gonna tell you you was wrong, and this is how you was wrong, and this is how you should have did it. What you think about that?
Most of most of the time, that type of parenting, that would be a mother's way of handling a situation. When the father was, if the father was in the same room, he'd be like, "No, look, son or daughter, you was wrong, X, Y, Z. Um, you don't have to embarrass them or in front of people, but they need to learn because if there's no consequences, they may repeat it again, and they would repeat it again. So there got to be some sense of burn. They got to feel a little warmness, you know what I mean, a little burnness, so they won't do it again. But yeah, I mean, don't front them out in people, like I say, in front of people to embarrass them.
Yeah,
But when you get home, you can get more into a detailed conversation about what just went down.
right.
But you know, you got to be wise.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what's a moment where you felt like you failed as a dad, and what did you learn? What did that teach you? Just how you said you gotta have some burn, you had to learn from the consequences. What was a teaching moment in your parent journey? If you don't mind sharing.
Well, I mean, the one I just mentioned about me listening more, that's the most recent one.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, it's. I mean, like I say, I'm not a perfect parent, but I can't really put my hand on. Okay, well, one thing I can say is because I work a lot, and so sometimes in working a lot, you miss out on certain things, but it's just life. I wish
yeah,
I was rich way in which I can do everything for everybody. You know what I mean? At
yeah.
any time. So I would say I can never spend enough time with my family.
Do you ever take your kids out like one on one instead of like the whole group?
Definitely, because they all got different personalities. Some conversations I can have with one that I can't have with the other
Yeah,
because they hadn't gotten there. Like even now, um, my sons, it's conversation I'm having with them and my daughter that I didn't have with them 5 years ago because they weren't to that level of understanding and life experiences. The life experiences make you understand a lot of things a lot easier, when somebody bring up a subject, you know.
yeah.
So
Life
yeah.
experiences. Um, if your 12-year-old self could see you now, what would he be proud of and what would he question? So positive and negative.
All right. So my 12-year-old self, what would he be proud of is that I'm repeating what I grew up with in a better way, you know,
Okay.
spiritually as well as naturally. Negative, my 12-year-old self would see me now and say, probably I didn't give my kids enough candy. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know because I can't say my 12-year-old self what they wouldn't like.
Or
Uh,
just your younger self, like you said, so okay, so you improved on the things that you were raised with, spiritually and spiritually and naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's a good thing. You picked up certain things from your upbringing and improved on it. If your younger self look up to you now,
Oh, okay, I got you now. I'm with you.
yeah, you
So
see what I'm
my
saying?
younger self, my younger self would be don't waste time on things that don't matter. Be more productive at an earlier stage because if I would have been
Quick interruption. Because you're watching this video, I think you'll be interested in a free workshop that I'm hosting in a few days. This workshop is about 4 common habits that cause parents to unintentionally harm their child's future success. Most parents think they're helping, but they're actually holding their kids back. Again, unintentionally. If you want to help your child to thrive long after they leave your home, then click the link in the description down below. I can only fit a few people on the Zoom call. Spaces are limited. So grab your seat now. Just click the link down below. All right, back to the video.
more productive. So I've always had an entrepreneur mindset, but I could have activated it sooner. I should have activated it sooner. But because of your situation, your surroundings, it can slow you down and may not motivate you as much. But yeah, that would be the negative side. I wish I would have been more of an entrepreneur sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I have another dad I talked to, and he was talking to me how his family think he's like controlling,
Mm,
and he's starting to learn to not try to take so much control, to let people be themselves. And
mm,
another dad was saying how um sometimes you feel disappointed that your kids don't want to be what you want to be. Like if you an entrepreneur, but your child don't want to be an entrepreneur, they rather climb the corporate ladder and be an entrepreneur at a company. They don't want to take the risk to go out there and do it all on their own.
They want to be an employee. They don't want to be a boss. Is what you're saying?
Right. What do you think about that? What do you say to that?
I can see all of that, because it's like this. Like I have three kids, and all of them personality is different. Everybody can't be a boss. Somebody got to be a worker. So if you can't make a person be what's not in them. And so because all of us have talent, and what you got to do is find out what that talent is in that person, and use that, your energy into whatever that may be, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so the first part you said about the father, what did you say?
Yeah, that he was controlling, that his family is
On
like,
controlling.
yeah,
Right. So let me chime in on that too, because it's a generational thing. This generation, if you look at a lot of couples and stuff, the woman is dominating the relationship, and the husband's like a child, or a son, or or a little brother, whatever.
yeah,
And so that changes the dynamics of the responsibilities of who's supposed to be doing what. It muddies the water. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It makes things gray. So until everybody get in a position that they're supposed to be in, and some people that don't know any better would say that a man is controlling, and when he's not being controlling, he's just being a man. He's been the protector he's supposed to be. And
right,
so, and sometimes when we make decisions, it may look like one thing, but it's actually checking off three or four boxes. I may tell you, no, you can't go X, Y, Z, and you're just looking at face value that I can't go to this place. But in actuality, I may have known something that I heard from the barbershop or whatever
exactly.
else I may have went to make me come to the decision to tell you no. You know what I mean? I may not tell you all of that.
So,
So, I
okay,
mean,
so
go ahead.
why not tell all the details and explain why I'm telling you this? I'm telling you don't go over there, not because I'm trying to be mean, but
Right.
this is the reasons why. I'm telling you
Right,
don't
we're
go.
supposed to, and yeah, we're supposed to, and we should. But sometimes the situation and the timing may not allow me to. But if I got good credit with you, you should just say, okay, well, Zion got a good name. I ain't, he wouldn't tell me something that would harm me, or that's not good for me. So even though I don't understand the whole picture, let me follow what he said, and then I'll double back later and ask him, yo, why did you say I couldn't go to this place or whatever? And then time may be better. Then I can tell you, hey, this is why. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, having that
Like
track
me, I
record.
couldn't go. Yeah, like for me, I couldn't go to all the parties back in the day. I wanted to go, and I felt like, man, that was one I really wanted to go to, but I couldn't make it. And I felt like, that would have been it. But guess what? It was the next part, another party the following week or 2 weeks later. So we put so much emphasis on these things when it's really not that important.
Yeah, yeah. You said it was something we just now said. Um, explaining. Oh, having that good credit, having that good track record
Hmm.
of
Yeah,
knowing
very
that,
important.
do you think I love you? Do you think I'm going to put you in harm's way? Do you think I'm telling you this just to be? And that's another thing is to ask questions instead of making so many statements and commands. It's to draw it out of them by asking them a question. When you ask them a question, they got to think about it, and it's like it's coming
Yeah,
out of them instead of you putting it on them. So it's like, yeah, do you
exactly.
think I'm going to tell you something to hurt you? Why do you think I'm telling you
Exactly.
this?
Simple math. Simple
Yeah.
math. And if you trust me, you'll go ahead and follow what I say, because it's like credit. This is what credit is. When you go to the bank, if you're not known for paying your bills prior to coming to the bank, and you come to the bank for a loan, they're gonna look at your record and be like, you got bad credit because you don't pay your bills on time. You're
Hmm.
not disciplined in paying in that. That goes with a person's name and reputation. If you're known for lying, if you're known for being mischievous or being slick all the time, now you got a bad name. And when you come around, folks don't want to deal with you. They don't want to see you. They don't want you in their company, you know. But if you got a good name, folks will be looking out for you, and you're not even looking for nothing. You just happen to walk into a room and somebody say, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll pay your bill, your tab, or whatever it may
Right.
be, your
Right.
check." And so, yeah, that's credit. Credit is very important. Your name, you can be broke, but you got a good name. Somebody will come along and bless you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
If you fall off and you got to start back over, you got good credit, somebody to help put you get you back on your
yes, they
feet.
will. Yes, they will.
Yeah. Um, All right, let's get to the last couple. What does real support from your wife look like when you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure? How's the dynamics
Mm,
with the wifey?
okay. But wifey, sometimes, it's a blessing to have somebody that really supports you and got your back because sometimes she can see that I'm having a hard day or she see I got too much on my shoulder and she'll come along and change it or she won't even bring it up to my attention until later because she'll say, well, I saw a lot of stuff was on you. I didn't want to bring it to you right away. And that kind of stuff means a lot, to a man that got a lot on his shoulder. So a very supportive wife is very important. And I thank God I got one. I talk to other husbands and we all have our complaints about our wives, and I'm sure wives got their complaints about their husbands.
Mm-hmm.
But when the dust settle, when you know what you got, you know what you got. And I'm appreciative of what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do y'all ever have conflict on how you raise the children?
For
How does
sure.
that go?
Oh, for sure. So I'm not going to focus on the stuff that we agree with because that don't really take a conversation. But the stuff that we don't agree with, we would talk about it in private. She'd say, okay, well, this is how I look at it, how I see it. Then I'll say, okay, well, this is what I feel about it. And then sometimes her idea would be better than the one that I chose. I'd say, okay, babe, we'll go your route with that. We're on this subject, and we'll do the way that she see it on that, at that time,
Yeah.
vice versa. And sometimes I'll see something that she don't understand, but she trusts what I'm saying to be right. And she'll say, all right, we'll let's do that. And then we'll go my route. So it's all about communication and being
Communication.
honest and wanting the best out of the situation. You know what I mean?
Right. So y'all more so talk amongst each other before you bring it up to the children.
Yeah,
Because I know
for
some
sure.
people they want to include the children in like a lot of the decision making. When I can see sometimes, I guess you're talking about we're gonna have for dinner, but when it's something more important, I don't know if it's great to have the child input too much because they don't know. You're the parent. You know, you have experience. The child don't have experience.
You said it all right there, brother. That's a fact. How you gonna ask a 12-year-old child about something that they've only like I just told this is what I just told my son here recently so they can really get understand what's for real.
Yeah,
I said, you've experienced 18 summers on this earth. I've experienced 55 summers on this earth. Now, how can you compare my experience with your experience? You've only been here 18 years. I've been here 50.
exactly.
So when you think about it in that kind of layman's term, let me go ahead and listen to this older person that's been here longer than me because I'm still listening. I'm listening to people that's older than me, and
Right.
and and not to take nothing away from the younger generation because they know things that I don't know. And especially when it comes to computers
Yeah,
and the
it's a
internet
new
and all
world.
that kind of, it's a whole new world, AI and all that. And so I have no problem sitting down letting them teach me something that I know they know more about than I do. But when it comes to life experiences outside of that, that's my department. That's why that's the asset I bring to the relationship, to the conversation.
And that tied back into the credit, having that good credit, having that good experience to look at my track record. Have I ever led you astray?
And
No.
even if I do, and even if I did, it wasn't on purpose, or you should know it wasn't on purpose, because I wouldn't do that on purpose. It was something a bad decision that I made. But if I make 10 decisions and two of those tens are bad, I think my credit pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree. 8 out of 10, that's still
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, let's see I think I got the last one on here. If your child wrote a letter about what it felt like to be raised by you, what would you hope it says? How do you hope your children remember you? Did it freeze up? Oh, no.
No, no, it's me. I froze up. Well, no, it's real simple. That's a simple one that the answer is, and that would be that my dad truly loved me.
Yeah. And
That's
through his
it.
actions.
I mean, that covers it all. And even in that, if we got to ask the question, what does love look like to you? Because what love may look like to one person may not look like that to someone else. Like some people say, I want you to love me like you love yourself. Well, I may look at you and be like, you don't really love yourself. So I don't know, don't love me like you love yourself because I don't like the way you love yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the question is, what does love look like to you? And so the love that I've showed my kids, I hope that they give that same love back to me plus some,
Right. Right.
if possible. Yeah.
Um, what message would you give to a father who's feeling like he's trying, but he's still not doing enough?
He's trying, but he's not doing
It's
enough.
like I'm doing the
Talk
best
to
I can, but this ain't enough.
talk
That's
to
not
other fathers. Talk to other fathers that really know what they're talking about and what they're doing. Because just because you're a father or because you got a child, don't make you a father. Just like
exactly
just because a woman got a child, don't make her a good mother. You know, it's more than just providing. And I think a lot of people think that providing is the key. Like I've given my son all the Jordans they need, whatever clothes they want. These are tangible things. What they want the most is you and your
right.
time. That's the best thing, and not just your time, but valuable time. You know, take them to Home Depot with you when you go and try to fix stuff. You know, both boy and girl, because the girls they can learn how to do that stuff too, and should know how to do that stuff. Like my daughter, I taught her how to check her oil in her car and check the tire pressure and how to look in the door panel. You know, to check the tire pressure to know how much you need. You know, how to put it in. You know, just different things because she need to know that.
Yeah.
And so and my sons they know how to cook. You know, my boys they do cook different things and they barbecue with me sometime. My daughter do too. And believe it
Yeah.
or not, my daughter be with me sometime more than my sons. Like when I go fishing, she's more likely to want to go fishing with me than my boys do. And
Okay.
so it's a personality thing, and it depends on the subject. Um, you know what it is that we're talking about. So,
Yeah.
did I
Yeah.
answer the question?
Yeah,
Oh,
that answered the question for dads. So yeah, get around a community and not try to do it on your own, living in a bubble because you don't
mhm.
know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Nobody knows it all. But
Exactly.
if you have a desire to know what facts and truth are, that's a big thing too. People they talk about they want to know what the truth, but do you truly want to know what the truth is, or what do you really want to put the work in? Because it don't come easy. You got to put the work in. Like if somebody give you a car compared to you going out to work for that car, when you got that sweat equity put into it to get that car, you're gonna take care of that car a whole lot more than the one that was given to you.
Right.
So these are like facts that we need to pump our brakes on and kind of listen to ourselves and listen to what other people are saying to see where they're really coming from. What do they really mean? You know what I
Right.
mean?
When you look around at some of the younger people, or you just look around at people in life in general who having a hard time in life, how much of that hard time do you think is attributed to a lack of self-awareness or not knowing themselves?
A great amount, great
Yeah.
amount, because self awareness brings about confidence, uh, understanding about self, understanding about people. Um, it's very important to focus on that kind of thing. So your question was what again?
Like when people having a hard time in life, maybe they working in a career they don't like, they in a relationship they don't like, they just living a life that they not enjoying. But had they known themselves better, if they were more self-aware, maybe they would have made decisions that's in alignment with their self. But because there's a lack of self-awareness, you're not making decisions that's in alignment with yourself. People make decisions based on society or based on what their parents want them to do or based on their peers because you don't
Right,
know yourself.
right, right. And see, and that's another thing. People being followers. If you're a follower, then people can lead you to do anything. Every morning before my kids go to school, I tell them two things, and they'll tell you if they were here, is to be a leader and think for yourself.
Yeah,
Be a leader and think for yourself. I even tell them that now when they go to work. Be a leader and think for yourself. And
yeah,
so, and my dad used to tell me that kind of stuff growing up as a kid too. And so they would come home and tell me different things that happened where they exercised one of those things and it benefited them. And so now they begin to be leaders of different organizations they're a part of. When they go to work, they may be a crew chief, simply because it's in them, and I guess it's just constantly telling them, they hear my
that
voice
voice
in
in
their
their
head
head.
because it got to be that because I hear my dad voice in my head. So boom, that's I answer my own question. So yeah, that's what that is.
Now,
Whatever if you speak negativity to your kids, tell them they ain't nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing in life, or whatever it may be. They may internalize that. Now I'm speaking in general because some people
uh-huh,
have gotten that type of treatment and they still turned out good in
right.
spite of. So I'm just talking about in general because you can give a kid everything that they need and they don't turn out right. But that's an exception to the rule. I'm just talking in general. These are
Exactly.
the things that we these are the things we need to focus on. Because
What
when it's all said and done, you can say I did with my part. You can honestly and genuinely say I've done all that I knew to do. That was right.
Now, do you think that this leadership is already in a person, or can it be more developed? Because my follow-up question is, what if you notice that your child is a follower? How do you guide them? Even like the so I'm kind of answering my own question as I'm asking it. I think it's important to, if you notice your child is a follower, to augment the people they're around. Don't have them around a bunch of losers. If you know your child is a follower, they need to be around winners. If they're gonna follow
Right.
somebody, follow a winner.
Exactly. Exactly. Or follow somebody that got a desire to do right like you do. Because if you and my friend, we're first of all, for us to even be friends, we got to have some similarities. And so, if our similarity is to be a hustler, to get out here and hustle legitimately, or to be around quality people, or to be around people that mean you well, that's what you're going to be drawn to. That's what you're going to be around. But whatever is in you is what you're going to levitate towards. Is
Yeah,
what's going to draw you. And so, sometimes people in bad situations because they put themselves there. Bad decision, being around the wrong people. Like my dad used to tell me, you may go into a store with one of your buddies and he may steal, but for the simple fact you're with him, you're gonna go to jail for guilty by
association.
association.
Yeah,
Yeah, guilty by and so I have friends that stole and those that did. I ain't going to the store with them. But you don't know. Someone was klepto. They just had to steal something because
wow.
I grew up in the hood. So when you and life experiences as well, like I said, when you go around different people that's trying to make it and trying to survive, you learn stuff and you learn it quick.
Where did you grow up? What city or state you grew up in?
I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, in
Okay.
Maysville, a neighborhood called Maysville, and it was a community of blacks, especially when we first moved out. I was very young, but the community I grew up in, everybody knew their mother and their father for the most part. It was working class black, a few white working class whites there, and we just wanted something in life. Our parents wanted something in life, like all my friends. I know their parents, and their parents know my parents. Um, and it was like if you watch the movie
Roll bounce.
Roll, Roll Bounce with Bow Wow and
Oh yeah.
Jackson, yeah, that was very accurate to my generation,
Okay. In the
the '70s.
70s.
Yeah, the skating rink and stuff, and yeah, that was real. That was very good movie. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. What message would you get? Okay, yeah, we already talked about that. The fathers, they need to be in the community and not in the echo chamber. You
be
have okay.
willing and be willing to listen to other guys and not let your pride get in your way of trying to get help. Because sometimes our pride will hinder us from getting the help that we need because
hmm
we may think we know it all, but that's not the case.
What's one of the toughest lessons that you had to learn the hard way that could have been avoided if you had better guidance?
On the tough. So you should have sent me these questions ahead of time. That would have gave me time to
Yeah, I just pulled these
yeah.
last two out my head. I had these first ones written down.
Okay, all right. I mean, I ain't got no problem answering it, but it may just take me a minute. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, that's fine. I mean, this is our last question,
And I
man.
and I'm gonna ask you again. Repeat that question.
What's one of the toughest lessons that you had to
On the
learn the
toughest
hard
lesson,
way that
that's
could have
on
been
hard.
avoided if you had better guidance? You had to learn through trial and error.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Um.
This lesson how we was talking about guilty by association. I know a person who went to jail because their passenger had a gun on them, and the
Mhm.
driver didn't know they had a gun on them, and they got put up for I don't know a brake light or something, and they spent like a year or something in jail
Oh wow, wow.
because
Normally, you get caught with a gun is mandatory 5 years federal.
yeah, well, this was a few years ago. But I mean, that's a
Mm,
tough lesson that you had to learn. Was that this person had to learn?
okay, like that. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of close calls. I have a lot of close calls, and I know it ain't because of me. If God had mercy on me.
Yeah.
So because I have been to jail and I have been to the youth center. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I know. I should have sent it to you earlier. No, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool. What are any last parting words that you want to leave to the parents, to the children, or to your younger self? Okay, advice to your younger self, and advice to new parents.
advice to my younger self, and advice to my parents.
Yeah, if you could
All
go
right, so
back and tell young Z. Go ahead.
my yeah, I'm about to say, 'cause my younger self is my kids, because I see them. I see, like I told them, they are a better version of me. They are the version of me that I wish I was.
Yeah,
So, so because we gave them the better life, they don't know nothing about growing up in the hood. You know what I mean? They,
yeah,
that's why they're able to make the grades that they make. They make great, they make grades in school that I wish I could have been making those type of grades. All three of them, both boys and daughter. But to answer your
nice.
question, to answer your question, which you're gonna have to repeat.
Oh, like advice to new parents. How we were saying earlier, parents don't have experience, so they learning
Okay,
as
so
they
let me answer
go.
that one. Let me
Yeah,
answer that one. Okay, so that one for new parents, get with an old head, somebody that's been around that know what they're talking about, and also everybody is not qualified to give advice. You got to look at their life and see how they're living to
yeah,
see is their advice even worth receiving. And if you find out that it is, um, cherish it, and ask questions and be respectful. In dealing with anybody, and
yeah,
be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. That's major.
yeah. Being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself. That
Because
is,
when you get home and you to yourself by yourself in a room by yourself, if you deceive yourself, you got some mental issues.
yeah,
If you're willing to deceive yourself, you got some mental issues. So be honest with yourself.
yeah. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate your time, guys. I hope y'all got some value out of this video. And Lord willing, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Okay. Peace.
Terrific. Thanks a lot, Zeke.
Yeah, man. I hope you're pleased with the product, man. And I just try to answer as honest as possible. And I remember you when you first got started with your camera, when you first lift that thing up, man. And I
Yeah,
told you to keep up the good work. And I see you on Facebook and Instagram. I see how you're blowing up and the positive results and the people talking about you. So yeah, just keep that up, man. If especially if you love it. If you love it, it's not a job. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah, I'm just trying to do my part. I'm just trying to be a help.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it up, bro.
All right, my brother.
All right, man. So what you gonna do with this? Are you gonna put it on your?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on the same YouTube channel where you're seeing with the sister. It's
Yeah.
gonna be right next to that.
Okay. All right.
So
Am I
you
your
got
second person?
you the third person.
Third person. Okay.
Yeah, so I
All right.
didn't even edit I probably this probably won't go until we come back from convocation. So maybe the first week of
Okay.
August, second week of August.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'll send you the
All right.
link when it's done.
All right. Sound like a winner, bro. Did you get to see my mom's interview?
No, where?
She was interviewed by the brother. I think he's from Canada. Like he got like a.
Oh yeah, on the I Thrive podcast.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I
Did
didn't
you see
see
my
that.
mom on there?
I
Oh
didn't see
man,
that.
you gotta check that out, man. She's funny on that.
Yeah.
Real funny.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to look into that.
Yep. Yep.
All right, well, Lord willing, I see you in Greensboro.
No, I can't make it, man. I told you I got kids in college. They in my pocket.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can dig it.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
yeah. So I gotta get them straight. Then once I get them straight, I'll start back traveling again. That's why you didn't see me traveling the past couple of years, because
Gotcha.
they had that time in life where they really need that attention and
Right.
and and money, and so
Right.
I want to make sure I give them what they need.
Yeah, that even go for me. All this traveling, it's starting to get a little. I ain't even got no kids. It's
Yeah,
getting up there.
yeah. You got to be honest with yourself. Back to what I said earlier, you got to be
Exactly.
honest with yourself, man. Because we can bring pressure and stress onto our life because of bad decision making, and spending money unnecessarily is an easy one to do. You know,
Yeah.
easy
Yeah,
one to do.
I can dig it.
Get you
All
a
right,
good
bro.
wife, man. Get you a
Give me
good
a good
wife,
wife.
bro.
Yeah,
Get you
I'm
a good
working on
wife.
it.
It helps out. I know it's tough out there, man, but I tell my boy, am I still being recorded?
Yeah, it is. If you want to get some advice to the young bachelors, if not, I can cut it. But I think this could
Well,
be good for the young bachelors.
oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll just say this then, since you got me.
Oh, I'll let you see it
Uh,
before it go out.
no, no, it's all cool. It's all good. But I just, that you really like and enjoy, type of woman that you really like and enjoy, that's the one that you get. don't pay yourself short. That's all I'm saying. Make sure she's well rounded. Just because she look good, it may not go no farther than that. She can be a headache. A good looking wife, that's a headache. And you don't want a woman that look ugly because you got to wake up to her every morning. Not to say all women look ugly, but some of
Yeah.
y'all do. And not to say all guys are ugly, but some guys are. I'm just being honest with this. Some people don't care about ugly. Okay, if you don't care about ugly, go for it. But just be
Yeah.
honest with yourself. That's all. That's all I gotta say. I'm out. I'm out.
All
I'm
right,
out before
brother.
you
Be
get me in
honest. Yeah.
trouble.
Y'all be honest with yourself. All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, sir. Peace
All
out.
right. Peace.